Fit to Love is physical, emotional, and spiritual fitness to achieve the happy life you deserve. From exercise to cooking, relationships, and spirituality, you'll find all the inspiration you need right here with our host, JJ Flizanes.
Welcome to Fit to Love, Movement Mondays, all about exercise, all about movement, all about you. If you have an exercise you'd like us to address on a future show, please make sure to send us an email, info@invisiblefitness.com. Enjoy the show. Today's show, the 3 worst exercises for your joint. Exercise number 3, walking lunges. So before we start looking at why, I need to explain to you how your knee joint works. So we have your femur, which is your thigh bone, and your tibia. This makes up your knee. There's one bone that's missing, that's your patella. That's a little bone that's not connected, and it sits in your patellar tendon, and it slides and glides over the groove right between these 2 bones. But we're not going to talk about the patella because this is really what we want to talk about when it comes to the knee. On the tibia, you've got pads. This is your meniscus. You have pads of fleshy cartilage that cushion these 2 bones hitting each other. Same thing with the end of this bone, right? So you have lots of cartilage, and it can wear down just like the brakes in your car, just like the tires in your car. You only get so much cartilage. So we've got compression, which is gravity. We're all under compression. There's nothing wrong with compression. It's just that's what this force is. If we were to hang upside down, this is called distraction. That's another force that we have in our joints. We also have rotation, which this joint does not do. It's a hinge joint. It should not be rotating. When it rotates, this is when you are going to rip some of your ligaments. You're going to rip your ACL or your PCL or your MCL. So we don't want to be rotating. We also have translation. This is the force that we're kind of concerned about. Translation is a gliding and a sliding, and all joints do it, but all joints don't do it with a massive amount of force to it. So in a walking lunge, we've got compression plus translation being challenged, which is rubbing away at your meniscus. So now I hope I've demonstrated by these bones what happens in your knee joint when you do a walking lunge. Now, we're not even going to talk about the efficiency of a walking lunge. Like, why are you doing it in the first place? Are you looking to build muscle? Are you just supplementing some kind of interval program? Because there's other things you can do that are much safer, and one of them is a stationary lunge. So I'm just going to show you real quick. You're going to take your feet hip width apart. You're going to walk 1 foot back, both toes facing forward, hips also facing and shoulders square to where your toes are pointing. You're going to come up on 1 foot, and you're going to go down on 1 knee. Down is what we're looking for, and 90-degree angles. If I'm going forward in a walking lunge, my force is being absorbed by my knee. Again, in that compression and translation. So my muscles don't even have an opportunity to take over controlling my force because it's all in my knee. So if you're doing walking lunges and your knees hurt, I'd consider changing the exercise. Remember, there's so many different exercises you can do to build your quads, work on balance and stability, lower your body fat percentage, increase your stamina, increase your strength. So maybe you might want to consider laying off the walking lunges.
The Fit to Love podcast show offers you 6 days a week of helpful content to achieve the happy life you deserve. Movement Mondays and Tasty Tuesdays are weekly videocasts, while Wellness Wednesdays, Thoughtful Thursdays, Freedom Fridays, and Sexy Saturdays are audio-only shows themed every week to address your holistic life and needs. If the show inspired you, we would love for you to share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Head on over to fittolove.tv for recaps of every show, resources, and to join the community. That's FIT, the number 2, LOVE.tv. Have a fit and fabulous day.